To me, future will not be a knowledge driven, because knowledge is available in YouTube, Google, everywhere you can get the knowledge. It would be a wisdom driven. So what I mean, knowledge that we have, how you're using those knowledge to solve some real life problem, that's going to drive the future. With my knowledge, I wanted to segregate in 3 different areas. So first is the preschool and the primary school. Second one is the middle school. And third one is the college grade schools. Preschool and primary school, I mean, the fundamental, the focus of the education, as for me, I think it should be character building exercise. It should be based on focusing on EQ, and there would be academic goals, but that's not going to be driving. Some of the teaching methods that we can use it in the preschool level, that would be play-based, experiential learning, and workshop-based. Then teacher's role, that is very important. So it would be transforming from a lecture-based to a guide-by-sight way of teaching. So these are part of the things that I can think about in terms of preschool pedagogy. And if we move onwards, because we're going to talk about high skills. So in the middle level school, the secondary schools, that would be definitely academic would be part of it, but some portion of the academic goal has to be broken down to talk about a project-based learning, an experiential learning, a workshop-based model. And another important part of the secondary schools, they have to build and give emphasis to the great deal of hobby building exercise. So when they graduated from a school, they'll be already built up so many things that they are proud about and they're connected to the real world. And so that's the education focus it's shifting towards. So the role of the teachers in the secondary school, that's exactly the similar way. I mean, it would not be passing the information. Information can be available in digital learning space anywhere. How the education could be used and what is the way the things should be taught. These are the main focus should be on the education as per me. If we talk about high school and the college grades, so then the education would be more fundamental to solving the real world problems. So that is something what I think missing from current education, and that's what the gap when someone graduated and then enter into the job world. There's a huge gap what they have learned and what they have to use to kind of create the new solution for the new world. So here is my point. I think the high school, senior high school and the college level, this should be solving the actual problems. Real project could be, let's say there is a tea shop, okay, there's a chai wala, earning 100 rupees per day. So the real project should be given to him, to the student, group of students, that how they can increase that 100 rupees to 1000 per day. So that's a real problem. And when they're going to solve that real problem, they're going to use the real tools available in the market. They're going to use real software, real marketing media. And that should be the learning if we talk about the future of learning. So I'm talking about experiential way, learning by doing things which can shape up the world. Otherwise, there would be huge gap in what we are learning and what we're going to apply to the next level during our professional careers. Teachers' roles should be changed from a lecture-based mode to a mentorship mode. They should be guiding, they should be giving the perspective of learning to the kids. So these are some of the things, and this is not theory anymore. Lot of countries have been trying and practicing that. My way of thinking, above all these things, I have been trying to introduce an entrepreneurial way of learning in my school. So it is Little Vedanta Preschool. If you want to see the videos, please go to our YouTube channel. You will have a bunch of videos which talking about how we are leveraging this skill. One of the examples that we did last year, we did a kids entrepreneurship program. Now you might be laughing. At the age of 3, 4, 5 years, how am I going to tell them what is kids entrepreneurship program? But you'd be surprised to see that video. They come up with sweets item and then we ask them to sell it to the parents. And kids were telling me, I mean, if I need to take a few examples, one of the kids I asked them, why should I buy your sweet? And that small baby replied to me, sir, khake to dekhiye. So that's what the imagination power of a kid of 4 years. So when you think from an entrepreneurial way, that is the highest level of learning happens. So this is the model we are practicing over the year. We're going to make it more mature on the entrepreneurial way of learning. So few of the things I want to talk about in terms of challenging due to this kind of shift to the education sector as a whole. The teacher training is very required. The creative teachers, that Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam talk about creative education. He talk about the 5 components of the creative education. The creative syllabus, creative infrastructure is very important, and then creative teachers. and creative social entrepreneur, and use of technology. So if we use all these 5 elements, we should be able to creatively portray the education to our next generation. I think that's what we are all here for. I believe tech people should come and join to teach India. So that will make a huge difference, because we are talking about the actual skill, the real-time skill, real-world skill, and examination and evaluation process. That's very fundamental. The evaluation process should not be based on the final outcome of the problem, right? So it has to be based on the way the problem has been solved. That has to be given a value to the evaluation process. So this thing, I think fundamentally we should think about as an all young entrepreneur, right? So as a summarization, so next couple of decades, it would be an era of entrepreneurship. Not only entrepreneurship, the global entrepreneurship is going to come, and we have to make our kids, next generation ready for that. So huge responsibility for all of us. And we have to teach the emotional quotient to a great deal, to how to manage failure, and never giving attitude and self-confidence. These are the couple of things that we have to work from the very early ages, like 0 to 6 years. So that's what we need to all work on. Thank you very much.
For sharing your well put together thoughts. And now it's time for our next speaker.